Video game bang, video game bang, video game bang.
Video game.
Mega Ran. Live from the sack, it's the livest. In fact, I'm putting rhymes on this track to put my guys on the map. Updates, geek news, tech talk, and reviews. They can summarize it so you ain't gotta breeze through. Listen once and you're forever fans. And I'm not saying it because their theme song features Mega Ran, the ultimate source of all geek media. Other podcasts, they just don't match up. Need proof? You can check the archives and catch up. Stats off the chain, we have rearranged the game. It'll never be the same. Now it's time to feel the bang.
What is up, my pizzas? Cory Vincent here. Thank you so much for that theme song, Mega Ran. I'll be hanging out with him and Nairo at Berkeley this weekend. I'm super excited to be doing the Get Schooled tournament. Little plug for my boy Mega Ran. I can't wait.
30 seconds and he's already name dropping.
Hey, man, I got my boy Mecca. I love the new theme song, man. It gets me so hyped. I've never been this hyped before. And you know what makes me even more hyped is meeting new people, new friends. We'll get to her in a minute. We'll start with David Webb. What's up, man?
What is up, everybody? I'm trying to remember my Nintendo account right now because I just downloaded Mario Kart Tour.
I hate to name drop a little bit more, but did you know I was on the Nintendo homepage?
What? So, do you know my Nintendo account?
Nope.
No. All right.
Nope. Can't help you with that. But when you do get logged in, I started getting tagged on Twitter.
I did see Kurt tagged you.
I'm just a extra basically because it was all about Nairo and his experience at Evo, but in the hype intro montage thing, you could see me going like, oh,
pure elation on your face. I was an extra today too.
Yeah, you were?
I was for a energy commercial for Smud. if you're not in the Sacramento area, that's like...
Is the whole commercial just them saying, we didn't cut your power? Wow.
We didn't start fires, and we didn't cut your power.
So we're both really taking off our careers.
We really are. It's baby steps, man.
Sky's the limit.
Skies are the limit.
Speaking of sky's the limit, what's up, Emmaskies?
I'm alive.
You made it.
I don't think I've been here in 9 years.
It's been a long 9 years.
Long.
But you
10,000 years.
I've done so much.
Yeah, you've changed. You've evolved. You're a tax-paying citizen now.
I mean,
I'm so happy.
I mean,
you have insurance?
Not yet. I had insurance. All right, I've had insurance.
Catch us up with what's going on. So you went to New York for Comic-Con?
I did go to New York for Comic-Con.
Debuted new cosplays.
Debuted 3 new cosplays.
What were they?
Huntress from the Birds of Prey.
Okay.
Which I technically debuted at WonderCon, but I redid and refinished it. My new Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey.
The one that you, the one with all the streamers.
The ribbon
on it, right?
bonanza.
Why did you just do all that yourself? Why don't you just buy ribbons?
What do you mean? Why? I did.
But then you had to cut them all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because I had to cut them down. You can't just buy ribbons that are like straight and 13 inches long.
Did you cut them with scissors?
Yes, and I had to uncurl all of them because they were curly.
I have a paper shredder you could have used.
Oh my God.
You know what? Somebody else said that to me.
How do you uncurl?
So you know how? No, that's a very
It's a
legitimate
thing.
question
Yeah.
because I couldn't figure it out. You know how you curl ribbons with the scissors?
Yeah.
If you do it on the other side, it uncurls them.
Oh, you know what? Tell me why.
I was honestly fighting with it for like 5 hours, and I was bitching about it on Twitch, and I'm trying to figure it out. And somebody in chat was like, "If you do it on the other side, it uncurls them." I was like, "That's the stupidest shit I've ever." Oh my God, it works.
Yeah.
Wow.
I pictured you either A, on an ironing board.
I tried.
And then or B, it hanging and taking a hair straightener.
I tried.
Oh,
wow.
So I wasn't off base.
No, you were very. That's
Those
a
are
very
legitimate
legitimate question. I
things.
couldn't
Okay.
figure it
There
out.
you go.
And
I could not figure it out.
Joining us for the first time, brand new to our great city of Sacramento, Lexi. What's up?
Nothing much, guys. Thank you and welcome.
What, you're welcoming us?
Yeah, welcome to my corner from Mississippi.
Welcome to the Lexi
Alabama,
show.
Yeah.
So you're new to the area, but you got a lot of experience in like the gaming world. Like you were a Frag doll. Well, explain to me what that is. 'Cause I've heard it plenty, but I never knew what it was.
I got very excited when I heard that about you.
Yeah, sure. So I was a part of the Frag Doll Cadet program that is now retired. But I worked a lot with Ubisoft. I got to go to like PAX East and PAX West and the GameStop conventions and things like that. Basically helping with branding and social media community outreach with them, and I really enjoyed it. I also was I played at Evo, so I played fighting games back in the day.
Wow, competitive.
snap.
Which ones were you
Okay.
into?
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Okay. All right.
And I kind of dabble in that some still, like on my Xbox days. But right now, I'm huge into
Wait, your
League of
Xbox too?
Legends. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, Lexi's my new best friend. We've been chatting for like a while. I'm here for this.
Well, she kind
I
of caters
love
to all
it.
because she's also like a League of Legends like PC gaming freak.
Oh man, yeah. I'm very huge into League of Legends. Maybe I'll join a team one day.
Can you
Somebody
please-
reach out?
Can you please stroke my ego for 1 second and find out how you reached out to us or how you found me?
Sure. So I actually was like looking up like Sacramento like podcasts and gamers and things like that, and I actually came along of Cory's
Top
Twitter
of Google,
account.
baby. I'm moving. I'm not Mr. Esports anymore in Sacramento. I'm Mr.
And
Gamer.
Corey's got that SEO going.
Yeah.
He was
SEO,
the first
baby.
person I saw, and I was like, wow, I really wanted to get involved in the gaming space here. And then I was like, let me reach out to him and talk to him. And Cory's been great, so.
Yeah, you reached out on Twitter, and it's pretty easy. Like, usually when I get reached out to a lot, and it seems like people, like, usually just are pretty bold with what they want. Sign me to Fortnite. Energy. I'm a great
What?
streamer. Please sign me. And I was like, first of all, I don't make those decisions.
We have very different DMs, you and I.
Emma,
I
me
can
and you have the same
imagine.
You know, but I bet they're from the same people. They just,
Probably.
They just want entirely different things.
Probably.
So, yeah, no, but, you seem super sincere,
Thank you.
legitimate, got the resume, and then it couldn't have been more perfect because we have a lot of League of Legends Riot news to talk about on today's show.
Super pumped. Super pumped.
Before we learn more about you and all the news, we got to talk to Emma real quick, though, because I just want to know what it's like having a job now for you, because,
I do have a job.
You've been
I've had a job in the past. So.
Have you, though? Like a real one?
Yeah.
Like above the table?
No, definitely a real person with a real job.
No,
worked
you did. You were the lifeguard.
been-
She was
I've
a
had-
lifeguard supervisor.
I've had other jobs.
Oh,
in
that's
my
what was
life.
concerning. That's right. The fact that not only was she in charge of saving lives, but she was in charge of other people who were in charge of saving
She was in,
lives.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I was in management.
wow.
But when it
I
happened,
was in man.
I was in management.
Whoa.
Hey.
Middle management
Hey,
at best.
It's management.
when things happen before you met a person, though, it's like ancient history.
It
Like,
doesn't count.
That could have been back in, who knows when. It was different times. You're a different person now. But since I've known you, you've never been a hardworking, tax-paying contribution to
Yikes.
society.
Yikes.
And
Man,
here,
he's putting you under the bus.
He
in
is.
the- in
He's
the
like, you've
sweetest
never worked
way.
a day in your life. You don't work hard. You're
No, I never said that.
lazy and you don't have any money.
I mean, being a streamer doesn't count.
Like, only one of those things is
Anybody
true.
who-
I don't have any money.
It's fake news.
But I'm super excited,
Never
though.
works.
Tell us about the job. What can you say?
I work at an esports lounge. That's I don't know what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not supposed to say. There's a new esports lounge in Roseville, just outside of Sacramento, called Fire Up Esports Lounge. You guys should come check us out. We're
Please
gonna
do. Go check them out.
open soon. Actually, we're technically open, but our hours are a little iffy. But we do have a Halloween party coming up if you guys want to come check us out. But yeah, I am in charge of our live broadcasting content at the moment.
That is so
Sick.
So I'm
freaking cool.
basically setting it up from the ground up, and they were really just like, we don't entirely know this space, but you do, so do whatever you're gonna do.
That's the thing I
that's what
love
I'm
about
doing.
these guys. They talked to us like about a year ago, just kind of about what their ideas were, and they had one idea, and when they came in, they have a passion for gaming, but they haven't really been like involved and just enveloped in that world yet. But they wanted to learn, and so they went out and they did so much homework, and then the strategy and the plan that they launched with now is so much different from the original one, and the place just looks cool from the pictures you posted on social with like the lights reacting to the music or whatever you had going
Oh,
on.
they left me alone to close, so of course I was playing Hamilton over our sound
That's
system.
sick.
But it all responds to the lights.
Yeah.
Like, what's
Does
the
it-
deal?
or was somebody just behind the scenes flipping the light
No,
switch
it's
on
reactive.
and off?
It's,
Oh, wow.
it's reactive lighting to the
pretty cool.
music.
Yeah.
And then that'll be hooked up to, I think, the streaming computer, the broadcasting computer, and it'll react to things that are going on stream. And that'll pop up like in the shop and stuff. And It's
cool.
a pretty good space. It's pretty sweet. I think we're gonna have some videos up on social soon that kind of give you more of an idea of what we're doing. But that's why I'm here in this very flattering polo. Which
you were like, I don't know what I could say. I'm like, then cover up the name of the company that you work for.
Oh my god.
With your
well, I came straight from work and I was like, I meant to bring something to change into it. I didn't, and I'm just like, cool. I'm just gonna put my jacket on over this.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting times.
But speaking of exciting things, I just mentioned it to David and watched his eyes go crazy. I met Tom Hiddleston and Charlie Cox.
What?
amazing.
You've been
What?
sitting on this nugget? Wait,
Oh my god.
what happened?
I went to see their Broadway play.
No way.
They're on Broadway right now.
Wow.
That's the way you would run into them.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Could have been anything cooler than I saw their okay, please keep continuing.
No, so Tom Hiddleston, Charlie Cox, and Zawe Ashton are in a play called Betrayal right now, which is on Broadway, which is phenomenal. It was so good. And I went to the stage door after, the way that you do, and they all came out, and so I have all of them sign my playbill.
What?
That's so
It was
amazing.
a madhouse.
That's what you were flipping out about on Twitter.
Yeah.
Did you get a selfie? No selfies?
No,
No.
because I didn't take a selfie. I took a picture of other people trying to take selfies because it was fucking hilarious. Because there's a mass of people that are all trying to clamor in, and nobody's close enough to. I was pretty lucky. I was close enough to can you sign my thing? It's so it was very exciting. But so Tom Hiddleston was the only one that did this. Where he was like, oh, so if you guys want a selfie, I'll stand here on my side, because there's a barricade. He's like, I'll stand here on my side, and you can turn around and do your picture. And so I have a picture of Tom Hiddleston standing, and then 50 people standing in front of him, all with their phones up pointing at themselves, and he's just
That's so
going from
funny.
he would sit right here and smile, and then he'd go 2 inches to his left and sit right here and smile and go 2 inches to his left, all the way down. So I took pictures of that because it was way better than any selfie I was about to try to get.
So did you get any information about the new Loki series?
No,
Then what was the
because
point?
I'm not that type of person that's gonna badger somebody when they just trying to do their job.
That's true.
Corey.
I would
But
totally do it.
I think I've told you about my friend Kaylee, who's on Phantom. They share a stage door.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, yeah, I was going to work the other day and I saw Tom Hiddleston, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
You were going to work.
Yeah, she was just going
And
to
saw
work,
him.
and there he was, and also going to his work, and she's like, we made eye contact,
there
and
he
he's the
be.
most famous person I've ever seen in real life.
You know what? I don't want to brag, but I had that same feeling when I met Don King when I worked at the Arco Arena.
Who?
Don King? You don't know who Don King is?
I just wanted to mess with him.
Okay.
Do you?
No, I have no fucking clue who that is, but I really wanted him to get upset about it.
I was working at Arco Arena. So you used to see weird people and I was definitely too afraid to approach anybody. When you get that job, they tell you don't freaking bother the celebrities.
Yeah.
So I got to see John Cena from Me to David.
John.
Wait, did you really see it?
Yeah. Miserable too. He was in his worst state because he had to sign 300 copies of the Marine before the show. So they gave him a little tiny fold out table near us, and he just has a stack of them, and nobody could go fucking talk to him. And he's just sitting there by himself, signed all 300 and moved on. But
I'm trying to think of the most famous person I've met. It might be Jason David Frank.
I mean, I'm not laughing at him,
And I-
obviously.
And I say that because of how many iterations of the Power Rangers that he's been in.
Yeah.
He's probably been
Most
in a
recognized.
lot.
Yeah.
He's super
I mean, he's
recognized.
the OG of Power
He is
Rangers.
the OG, and he's just never going to not be a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
He's made sure of that.
He
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
made sure.
Isn't he the producer now of all
Is
the
he?
Power Rangers?
I
I
wouldn't
feel like
be
he
surprised.
is. I feel like he is.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us more about your journey, your path to gaming for you, Lexi. How'd you
Well,
get into gaming?
When I was a young lad, I actually started off playing Super Nintendo when I was really small, and then I got a PlayStation, and then I played on my cousin's Sega Genesis, and it just went from there, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance.
Was it social, or were you solo playing? Were you playing by yourself?
Solo playing at this point.
What games? Which ones
on
had the
place-
impact?
Okay, so Kingdom Hearts, I was going to move along, but like when I played PS2, I actually got a PS2 for my birthday. My great grandma raised me, and she got me that, and she got me Kingdom Hearts, and I freaked out. And that kind of had a storyline that really connected me to game, you know. So I really loved that. That kind of inspired me to be who I am today. And then Final Fantasy as well. But then I started playing like DDR, and then noticing like, oh, people can play competitive games, and esports wasn't like a thing back then, but it was growing, right?
Yeah.
And so then I started playing like the fighters, so Street Fighter, and then Marvel vs. Capcom, and so I was like, oh, I love the competitiveness, so that's when I started playing more in that space, and now I love League of Legends, and the rest is history. I'm trying to be competitive with League of Legends, so
I saw that, and that's like, so
play
how
ADC.
Yeah, so
support.
tell us about League, because I haven't played for like 5 years. It's a game that's wildly popular that we rarely talk about on this show.
Yeah, so
Except when we're bashing Riot for doing stupid things.
of course. So League of Legends is basically you have 2 sets of teams. You have 5 men on each team, and you have an ADC, a mid, a jungle, a support, and you're trying to basically take over the rift to win the game. And you take turrets, and you take like cruds and minions and things like that. So that's like the purpose.
So it's kind of like Smite.
No. No, you know
I
what?
think it's top down, isn't it?
I think it's vainglory.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Vainglory.
You know, a lot of
Vainglory.
people compare it to Dota too. So.
Yeah.
What's that?
Because they're both MOBAs.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of it.
So
So-
Smite and vainglory.
Yeah,
But they're both
apparently.
top-down Dota. Or top-down MOBAs. Because
Like-
Dota is top-down too, right?
Yeah, I think Dota is like more so like more intensive as far as like mapping and more characters go than League, I feel. But League is like not like I don't want to compare them to each other. Like just don't compare them. But now League has announced all this cool stuff, and I'm pretty excited. They have like an anime coming out that's basically going to tell the story of all the League characters, which I'm super excited for.
It
You seem
seems-
very happy for somebody who plays League.
Yeah, what the hell? I heard that this is
okay.
toxic and it's full of miserable
It is.
people.
Okay, so I did have a depression streak because
League.
because of League.
That checks out.
Basically you can get tilted in the game.
Yeah.
And so I've gotten tilted a few times.
It's never your fault, though, right?
It's
always
never
someone else's fault.
It's never my fault. It's always like the jungler. A better jung win.
That's the thing. That's always what's been hard about League for me to get into. Like in Overwatch, it feels like, first of all, matches don't really go more than 20 minutes.
Oh my
like
God.
you can get into some round.
I
must
played
be nice.
League matches for like an hour.
I was gonna say in
Like
Overwatch
one yesterday was like 45 minutes.
in Overwatch, if a game is really good and intense, it can go past like 30 to 40 minutes, but only if it's good. If it's a stomp, you'll be out in 20 minutes and into the next one. In League, you have to get ready for an ass whooping. Like if you,
Yeah,
you
that's
usually know
true.
within 5 minutes
Yeah.
whether you're gonna win or lose, and then if
You
people
do.
don't F6 or do whatever to quit,
Yeah,
you're
that's-
stuck, committed to this really shitty
Yeah.
game where you're just gonna lose.
Yeah, you're right. I've gotten tilted because of games like that. Either like we're carrying our lane and someone else screws up and you automatically know like it's game over, or if someone else screws up but you're like, I could still carry this game, and then they kind of tilt and they say FF, like GG, it's over, and you're just
I
like,
still got this.
we still got this. But that one person just is like, nope. So they sit in base and ruin the game, and you need your whole team to go
Yeah.
out for the team fights, and it's like, well, we could have maybe won this if we had you. So it's one of those situations.
So do you hang out in the voice chats and stuff, or you just
Oh,
type in
yeah,
it?
all
Oh,
the
so you're
time.
right in the firefight.
Brave.
Oh yeah. So
Solo
I hear
queues?
tons of stuff. I've heard some things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They know, like I've talked before, like my time playing online got so much better when I refused to use a mic. I don't listen to people and I don't talk
Really?
to people, and I have a much better time.
So basically,
but that's
whenever,
hard on a game like League.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah.
like if I'm playing with friends, like in a 5-man, like I know my friends, right? But then if I'm playing like duos, like in ranked or something, then I'm talking to that one person. But also you kind of have to communicate to your team too. But one rule of thumb that I've learned, like trying to rank up now, is like the more you type, the less you're paying attention to the game. And I see people now knowing that mindset when I'm playing and I'm like talking to my mate, like, hey, go here or whatever. If I see this person like just drilling someone, I'm like, go kill them because they're not paying attention to the game. So there's a key for you guys, like a fun fact, a hint to help you.
Do that in Overwatch.
There's a tip right there.
Or you be on your own team and they're sitting there and they're like
they're
raging
typing
on somebody else on your own team. I'm like, stop typing and
play the game. Exactly.
It's not a problem on console. That's all I'm saying. Ain't nobody typing on console.
They have a lot more problems, like aiming, for example.
Like playing the game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, like you had said, League of Legends has their 10-year anniversary, so they just went out the gates hot with this recent. It was just yesterday. They announced a bunch of stuff. First of all, this game's been around for 10 years.
Right.
I mean, I kind of knew that, but you don't really know that until you see like the big banner that says, holy shit, this game's been around for 10 years. Esports scene selling out arenas.
Yeah.
You know, it's a proven model. Like, obviously, this game's not going around anywhere soon. Yeah, Riot has been kind of like hammered for like PR kind of stuff and
rightly so.
Internal complaints. I will say, after watching their presentation, they definitely put that foot forward of like trying to show, hey, this is diversity. Here's, you know, developers of all different types and creeds and races, religions, and they put them in the forefront, you know, explaining these new projects. They changed their logo. Like, they've done a bunch of little things in the recent field, like to kind of fix a lot of the issues.
Agreed.
So let's talk about the first one, the anime. This is the one I've seen actually way too many people way excited about this. What the hell do we not know? I thought it was just top down. There's 300 fucking characters in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of them are interesting. What's this? What do you think it's going to be about?
So I feel like it'll be like the core like backstory of the game, just because like you have kind of a story with certain characters. Like, I main Jinx, and I know she was like in jail, and she got taken to jail by Caitlyn, which is another ADC that I also made. And so like just knowing those backstories like is kind of cool, and to see it like put on as a full production as an anime, I think will be even better for all, especially if you're like really into League, like most people are, if you're playing it every day like me.
Here's the thing. They knocked it out of the freaking park with that KDA song.
Oh, yeah. So that's like on my playlist.
Hell yeah.
Is KDA going to be part of the anime?
I don't know if they would do that.
I don't even know if they need
maybe.
to.
Yeah. I think that was a separate thing.
I feel like you have to.
If they have the creative juices to make that, and they're willing to drop down, I'm sure they're going to have a lot more that's going to match it, if not better. Like, they seem to do things like that not haphazardly.
Yeah. But I also noticed like throughout the years, right? Every time like either anniversary or like even every season, they have like a new animated style video, and it kind of tells the story. Yeah, and every time a character comes out, they're telling their story. But I feel like the anime will condense it so you can actually like understand like what is going on and who's all connected, especially with the new drop of the character. But
yeah, it's going to open it up to a whole new audience, I think, too, of people who I didn't know there was a story to League.
Yeah,
I assume there was, but you know, everything says it has a story. But I'm interested to
Overwatch.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Actually,
Overwatch likes to tell you they have a story without telling you what the story is. They're just like, it's there. We promise you it's there.
Omnix, Revolution, Crisis thing. Yeah, Junkenstein. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
The next thing that they announced was just some general League of Legends upkeep kind of stuff. They're making like a new game mode where the map like evolves alongside?
Yeah, well, are you talking about the new map? Because essentially they dropped that on us today. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, so what's up with the new map? Because they've had the same map forever with just minor modifications.
Yeah, so from what I noticed on the new map that I saw, like, it looks wider in certain areas, and almost like you have like an area to farm by yourself. Like, I don't know what they're doing with it, but also I noticed like for barons and like dragons and stuff like
objectives.
Yeah, the objectives of the game, like they changed that mapping too. So I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't know if they're trying to help us get away from enemies or not, but it looks interesting.
New hero too,
excited.
Right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So there's a new ADC called Senna. She's supposed to be able to work alongside her husband, who is Lucian. And so I'm pretty excited about that, actually.
I want to see what this character model looks like.
Oh, it's super sick.
So what do you did they show like move sets, or what are people expecting from this hero?
They gave like a breakdown sheet. Yeah, that's
Holy
it.
shit,
right there.
that's sword.
Wow.
She looks sick, right?
Yeah.
Does.
So, and she's ADC,
Those
so
arm muscles.
I know, right? So I'm pretty hyped about playing her in the game, and I'm guessing. And so that's her husband, and that's Lucian, and then that's
This is great for the
Thresh.
audio podcast.
Oh yeah.
This is
We're just looking at screenshots of the character. She's got a giant cloud size
Yes, exactly.
sword
I love
with little tiny cloud sized arms that she's swinging
little
this
tiny
thing.
cloud size.
Outside arm.
That she's swinging
I
this
love
thing around
that.
with.
That's the content we love for.
Some of the other big announcements they made. We'll start with their very own attempt at a class-based shooter.
Yes,
This
that
one,
was interesting.
this one got a lot of buzz because, as people know, the Overwatch player base has been dwindling a little bit. There's been some controversies lately that have been contributing to that. You know, it's always kind of just been a thing of they just keep having the same events every year, and just the same thing with this Junkenstein one. They didn't do anything new. So the game has just kind of gotten stale, and people are looking for something new.
Yeah.
If you could see, they're not really supporting the Tier 2 scene and the Tier 3 scene very well, so people want to make money. Riot has a great reputation for making insane prize pools.
Yes.
So whatever they're dropping, it looks more like CSGO than I think like standard Overwatch.
I feel like it's either gonna make them or break them kind of thing. Like, I feel like, I don't know the feelings on exactly the shooter part for Riot, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's either gonna be like a Call of Duty, like, oh my god, hype, like esports type thing, or not.
Well,
I don't know.
they mentioned esports so many times in their thing. Like, they're really trying to make that happen. For the David and Emma, I'll be just kind of like showing screenshots in the background of what you could see. But it seemed to be like highly accurate, like with the aiming, sensitive, like type of opping type style. Like peeking corners is going to be a huge thing in this. But then they had like ability based things, like a character, you know, snipes somebody, then floats in the air with daggers around them and shoots. Like, it's I don't know if they're gonna go
like
with the
another
whole,
layer to it.
yeah. So they're gonna go kind of crazy with making all the characters unique, but I'm not sure if it's like bomb, you know, planting the bomb. That
To me, it's like an updated Call of Duty, like you know, with like skills, like more skills to it. But
Yeah.
The graphics are a lot more Fortnite than Overwatch.
Yeah, it is.
Which I'm not about.
That's true.
I'm not about that aesthetic.
Well, I think, like, look what Riot does. They kind of have cartoony looking characters.
That's true.
And I think that makes it, like, I'm sure it's really difficult for, like, Counter-Strike to get big sponsors, for example, because they use
Very
the terms
realistic and
terrorist and anti-terrorist and planting bombs, and that's not necessarily, I think, what Pepsi wants to put their name on, you know?
Yeah.
I actually like the art style, to be honest.
It looks good. Like
it's a good mix of the two.
Yeah.
It's not like as bad as and I'm not saying bad, but remember Realm Royale?
Yeah.
You know that was
Your
like
favorite?
It was gonna be the best game of all time.
It was
See, remember how we talked earlier about how when Cory gets excited about shit, it tanks? He was real excited about Realm Royale.
really.
But they screwed it up. That's not my fault.
Oh man.
So the shooter looks interesting. I saw a lot of pros from across multiple games, like tweeting, like, "Oh shit, every unsigned shooter, FPS player is going to be definitely moving to this game when it comes out, just because Riot has a crazy history of being able to turn games into long form like esports."
I feel like this would definitely be that for them.
The other game they announced, so they're calling this one Project A, Project Ares. No word yet. It doesn't really look like they're going to be using characters from League of Legends. Nothing confirmed there. But the next one, Project L,
Ew,
which
excited about that.
this one looks good.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. What do you know?
So this is the fighting game one.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited about it because I think they will be using characters because as you can see, well.
Oh yeah, there's Ari.
Yeah, Ari is like one of the ones they tested for people to view. But I'm pretty excited about it. I need a new fighter. Like, it's been a minute. And I feel like Riot could do a good job with it. Again, it's just like the shooter. I feel like it could be a hit or miss, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty lit with the mechanics.
So
it looks really close to Street Fighter and Marvel, like a mix, because Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has like the bar, and then like you have like the mechanics of how they're showing it. It kind of looks like Marvel vs. Capcom.
He's wearing a KDA hat.
Yeah.
It's a hint.
Yeah,
they're gonna be in it.
But I feel like it's like a mix of Marvel vs. Capcom and Street Fighter. Like
I hope
Ari
it's-
just did a
It looks
Hadouken. Like,
it
come
looks
on,
a lot like Street Fighter. To me.
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
practice area, like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I was like, that's Street Fighter. Like that's 100% Street Fighter.
I'm really hoping it's not like one of those juggler-based games, though, where you just get caught in endless loops forever and ever and ever, like Marvel or.
I like that.
I mean,
I like the
because you might be good
I
at
like
it.
the combo.
You probably like it because you're good. For someone who's not good, just to sit there and watch yourself get juggled for
Oh,
like the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
map, you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
I get that.
you're only hitting one button, bro. Like, I can see your hands.
Oh my god, my sister and I used to play Dead or Alive all the time, and
Oh
we
my
had to make
gosh,
a
I love
rule
that one.
that like you couldn't use the same move 3 times in a row.
I
So-
love
'cause,
when
like,
you have
would
to set
find
your own
something,
private rules.
and it
Oh
would be
my
like like she would find a move that I couldn't
I'm living
block,
for
or
it.
like I would find a move that she couldn't block, and then she'd do it a bunch, and she's like, "No, you've used it twice. You can't use it again. Stop using that move, Emma."
I can't.
You guys are no spamming. So what happened a while back ago? There was this game called Rising Thunder, and it was kind of like I think it was an indie fighting game. All the characters were these robot guys, and it had really clean mechanics, and people were getting pretty hyped on it. I remember Jay Gist telling me to download it. I downloaded it, played it for a little while. My issue was that the characters were boring. I was like, I can't tell one guy from another, and I don't really have the wherewithal to learn who's who.
Right.
And the character, I don't know, it just wasn't like Overwatch, where you can easily see, oh, the monkey guy got the electric gun, the little cowboy guy has
Like
a little
you
gun.
know,
Yeah, you just
right.
know what things do. That company, I think, got absorbed into Riot. And so I'm pretty sure, and Jay Gist is in the chat, he could confirm, but it should be very similar, I think. I think it's the same people, and it was praised like a lot from the FGC at that time. So if they stuck to it, the game is solid, and they're dropping big fatty prize pools. That's all it takes for the
Yeah.
FGC.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
guys are thirsty for that money.
Yeah, and didn't they like preview this year at Evo or something like that?
They announced
Or-
it. They didn't show.
Okay.
They didn't show a damn thing. This is the most we've seen, and like, it looks great.
Yeah, it really does. Like she just
Wait, is that
dropped
even the
Hadouken,
same
like-
background that we were just watching them fight on? Anyways, so yeah, this is gonna be really cool.
Yeah, pretty hyped about that.
And then the announcement I was most excited about was the announcement for TFT on mobile.
Really?
Because
Really?
yeah, why not? Have you played?
don't know.
Have you played TFT?
To me, TFT is like chess, but like more intensive.
Yeah.
And I personally play rank all the time. And so when season's over, like on November 12th, like I'm gonna be like just practicing and draft. So I probably will dabble more into TFT, but for me it's not like the hype. Like most of my friends and I just play like the normal games or ranked games. So
From what I've seen of TFT, I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, I think it's going to fit well as a mobile game.
yeah, that I agree with that.
I don't know if that's an insult or not.
Well, it's not
I
like
feel like it isn't meant for like the actual like system. Like
Yeah, it
league is
doesn't-
league.
League is
Team
league.
Fight Tactics is.
It seems like a
a
spin-off game
yeah.
that would have been on the mobile. but
Or
instead
it's
they put it
kind of
on
like
the PC.
Fallout Shelter. Like I feel like
Yeah.
how they
Boom.
made that for a Steam game too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they should make it for a Steam, like
Like
a
a
side
companion.
alone.
It's on the
Right.
Switch.
Yeah, I agree. Like I feel like it should be like that.
I
like
watched.
a companion
I
game.
watched a lot of Teamfight Tactics. I like just peeking over people's shoulders, and it looked, hype. But my whole thing was like, this should be on mobile. It just looks like
Yeah.
it should be on mobile.
Yeah.
And you dip a little bit of time into it in between rounds, or if you play Overwatch and you're waiting for DPS queue that takes like 30 to 40 minutes anyways, like you could easily pop in some Teamfight Tactics. So the only way I was really gonna try it for myself would be a mobile version. So
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be fully crossplay.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be coming out in 2020. But yeah, final thoughts. I mean, I
was most excited about the card game. I thought you were gonna say that.
Oh, I didn't
when
even
you
put that
said
in the
They're making a
notes.
fucking
How
card game.
irrelevant
I
I thought that was.
understand.
That's like the top notch.
No, are you kidding me? You know what was funny? In the announcement, they even kind of made fun of it. They're like, you know what we're
Really?
doing? And they were like, we're making a card game. And the guy's like, we're making a card game. Like, they kind of acknowledged how
I've
everybody
never
has a card game.
understood the idea of a digital like a video game
Card game.
I
mean,
like,
I
just
guess
give me the
now-
fucking cards and let me play.
But I guess now with the times of like digital everything, I feel like that saves
guess.
people money and it saves paper.
Like, I
You see what I'm saying?
guess.
So like, I don't have to print all these cards for y'all to buy. Y'all
But
can
they're
just
like,
buy
here's
them
the
from us.
lore of
digital.
this card game. Here's
Right.
everything. Like, we're gonna go. I'm like, it's a fucking card. It's you're playing Go Fish. All right, let's chill out, everybody.
Can't knock it. Have you played any digital card games?
The video game Uno is.
What about
actually
the one
fantastic.
from
Ugh.
Witcher?
Gwent.
Oh, Gwent.
Gwent. Yeah, that's
See,
a high one.
That one is cool because it's a game that people would play within Witcher. Like people would
Yeah.
sit there and spend
But
hours playing
They
the game
made it
within the
separately
game.
because they loved it so much.
Right. And so they were
Yeah.
like, okay, well, let's take that and let's make it its own thing.
Exactly.
That's cool. I can kind of see that, but I don't know. I don't know if every game needs a card game.
No,
Yeah.
they definitely don't. Hearthstone,
No.
I'll answer that question.
Magic
No.
the Gathering. Magic the Gathering's the only one anybody needs, really. Everything else is just
What we
subpar.
really need is Yu-Gi-Oh back.
Oh,
Because I was
give you
That's,
that.
okay,
Yeah,
I
give
did
you
have
that.
the Yu-Gi-Oh game.
I had
I
Yu-Gi-Oh
have 2
deck.
copies of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel of Fates or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I had the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I had the Pokemon cards. I had the Yu-Gi-Oh like slider
I
on
wanted
your arm
that
with
so bad, and my parents never got it for me, and
I
I'm still
had
salty
that.
about it. And they both listen to this, and
Oh,
I
just
want you
went
to know
the
that I'm
mall
salty
tournament.
about it.
I won those mall tournaments with those.
I did that with Pokemon with my
Me
Game
too.
Boy.
Me too.
I used to
Pokemon
make my
Silver
sister
and
play
Gold,
with
the
me.
best ones.
Ooh, there we go. Let's go.
Throwbacks.
That's my shit.
So final thoughts on Riot, everybody. So I'll start. I reinstalled League yesterday.
I'm so proud of you.
I was so
I'm like a
hyped.
proud parent.
I got caught in the moment. Like all these announcements were coming up.
You
and
were like,
I was like, this is how you do it, everybody. I'm reinstalling League. I got a buddy of mine who's really into it, and then talking to you, and you're into it. So I got a base,
Yeah,
a
there
support
you go.
group of people who could help me figure it out again. So I'm looking to get back into it so that I could be more excited for the anime and the TFT stuff. So I'm going all in, guys. I'm getting Project Project A,
he's
B,
gonna get
C,
to
D, E, F,
platinum
G.
level here.
Whoa,
Easy.
whoa.
Right? He
Easy.
said,
Whoa.
whoa.
Easy.
That's expectations.
Yeah,
low.
expectations. Emma, you're a fan of KDA, not a big fan of Riot. Does this spark any excitement within you?
The only thing that this makes me think is Riot workers should unionize. All right,
Oh,
game
come
unions,
on.
unionize Riot.
This is the Joker all over again.
I'm just saying. That's every time I think about Riot, I'm just like unionize. Just
Yeah.
the support workers.
I mean, big changes could happen. They got all the spot. They're gonna have. They went with 10 years with basically just one game.
Yeah.
And now they're
And
splitting.
now
This is huge.
And an anime.
And an
Let's
anime.
not forget that. And where will that anime be housed? Is it Netflix? Is it?
Crunchyroll.
Is it? I don't know.
Funimation?
Funimation.
YouTube.
Hulu.
Just throw it out there for free. That's what they do with everything else.
Yeah, that's true. They could do that.
David, what are you thinking?
I have little to no interest in League of Legends.
I am disappointed.
Or
in you.
Riot.
Okay.
I mean, it's just not. I tried it. I tried playing the game. It's just not my game. That being said, I think a company that has spent so much time and so long on one game, and that's finally like, hey, what else can we do? I think it's pretty cool. So I am interested to see what they do and how well it takes off. And if anything, I'd be interested in the FPS, like the Overwatch clone. But
All right, Lexi. What should we be that we obviously know you're excited, but what's your priority ranks? What was the highest to lowest?
I would say the new map. I know that's like not like a part of the package, but
It's
aside-
big. It's a big
I
deal.
mean, yeah, because it's like they've had the same map for like years,
Yeah.
and so now you're changing it, and it looks way different. And I'm concerned as a player of what's gonna happen. So I would say the new map. I would say also I'm excited about the anime. I would say second, but I would love to see the fighting game and FPS. I would like to see how that pans out, and I would definitely try them and play them and see what happens because I would be hype on the freaking FPS.
Do you think the map change is enough of a change that it will not necessarily make it an even playing field, but newcomers will have a better chance at kind of, or would that really have no bearing?
I feel like it could change the way we see teams in esports, maybe, because
Really? Okay.
yeah, it's like a significant change. So I would be interested to see like future esports teams like next season, how they do and who's all joining, and just like you said with the rankings, probably. Yeah. I would like to see that because the map is very different. I mean, like there's places where there's walls that they've taken down the walls, and so now you have to be more strategic in the way you play.
Yeah.
You know.
Cover.
Yeah. So I would like to see that. Like it's interesting.
Next topic we're going to be talking about is get those Emma rage emotes ready because it's been far too long. Emma's been gone, and it seems like her absence fueled the game because Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. I just got to clap for whoever's behind their media team or marketing team.
Can we go to Emma real quick?
Yeah, let's go to Emma Cam. Emma, have you been following? I know you actively try to avoid Fortnite. Have you seen anything they've done the last 3 or 4 days?
Yes.
Really? What? That is surprising.
What?
It was hard to miss.
I got very excited because I was like, it's down, it's over, it's gone, it's gone, everybody. The Wicked Witch is dead.
Almost.
Pulls out champagne out of nowhere.
Woo! And then it fucking came back.
Did you?
So whatever.
Okay, so we'll do a little scene setting. So they do these events that have been really incredible.
Their events are bonkers.
They're crazy good, and they affect everybody who's playing the game at that moment. Like I've seen like raptures happen where people are floating in the stars with butterflies and stuff. Like, and then they come back down, and the map is completely different. And there's all sorts of crazy stuff. And we've talked about it and documented how well their marketing team is and how they keep these 8-year-olds interested in this goddamn game. They really have balls with what they did on this most recent one. They basically had a black hole absorb and destroy the game, and it just popped up on a screen that said like, "Thank you for playing Fortnite. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Uninstall or exit."
Yep.
Emma would have lost
I was
it.
real excited.
Oh my god!
Because we have it on all the computers at work, and I was like, uninstall it on every single computer in the center. Every single one. Let's do it. And they wouldn't do it.
That's so funny.
It's crazy that a game that popular, that big, would allow
make such a big move like
to
that
let
too.
them even put the uninstall button on there. But obviously there's a lot of pandemonium. People were screenshotting it, like, what do I do now? And it wasn't like just a little stunt for 20 minutes. They left it like this for days. It
They
was like
also
2 days.
deleted all their like tweets and everything. Well, not delete, but like so
We
it was
also
huge.
we're hosting
That
a
explains
Fortnite tournament
so
on
much.
Friday at work, and like there was a legitimate conversation. We came into work, and they're like, "Can we not do a tournament on Friday? Like, is the game gonna be accessible?
No.
What do we do?"
No. That's so funny.
They actually, if you logged onto the game, you could all you wanted, and you would just stare at a black hole.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did stream themselves just staring at a black hole for hours and hours, waiting for something to happen. Elon Musk won the internet when he tweeted, "I bought Fortnite and deleted it."
That was great.
I was like, my boy Elon.
Yeah.
Elon was going ham, and then they, after like 2 days of silence, just a black hole telling people to uninstall the game, they finally dropped a trailer, which did get leaked. Unfortunately, it sucks when you see a company put so much into such a big stunt and shit gets leaked. Like, come on, man. If you've data mined and found that, keep it to yourself. Let the people have fun. But anyways, it leaks. They added a bunch of new features. It kind of looked like a new game in some ways. Like the shooting mechanics looked a little tighter. They added things where you could like pick up people who are down and chuck them. They threw like fishing in there, so now you can fish in the game.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
That's the
in an
one
intense
thing.
battle
When I played
royale.
Fortnite, I was like, you know what? The shooting and building is cool, but man, I really wish I could fish.
I want to go fishing. Yeah, so kudos to them. They did something, again, just unexpected, completely blew up their own game. And, I mean, I still have zero interest in playing this whatsoever, but it's fun to follow and see, like, all the backlash. And now you got Lady Gaga even tweeting about it. Did you guys see
Hilarious.
that? Did you see it?
I saw her reply to Ninja.
So she tweets.
But did you see what he said?
Yeah.
This is turning into a gossip podcast. So
Okay,
Lady
but-
Gaga got up on
What?
Twitter and she said, "What's a Fortnite?"
And then Beyonce got on.
Beyonce
She
is
said,
like,
I am Fortnite.
she's like, "Bish, come see me at Salty Sun, wherever they
Wow.
You almost had it.
Damn, I wish I did.
You were right
if I had game knowledge, I would have been able to complete that joke. Womp womp. Anyways, but so she types, "What's a Fortnite?" Spells it wrong and everything. Of course, the internet fucking explodes. It's articles on IGN.
Yeah.
Ninja replies like, what did he reply? Like
He said something about he made a reference to telephone, and he said something about like call me on the telephone. And
Yeah,
I'll
but
tell you. It
then
was, like,
he
some bullshit.
says, to talk to Drake.
Actually, she goes,
Oh.
"Who are you?"
Yeah,
And
she
he
replies,
goes,
"Who
are
I
you?"
just saw,
Drake.
Who are you?
She pulls a straight who? She says, "Who are you?" And then Ninja replies, "Ask Drake," and it was a good moment.
That
She'd
was
be like,
great.
"Who's Drake?"
That
Drake?
would be-
Drake?
Drake.
She said, "Oh, that guy
man.
who dates teenagers?
Oh,
That
dang.
pedophile?
Wow.
That guy?"
Wow. We
And
did
Emma
not
just
need to
just
go
saying.
there.
Sombered
I'm
it
just
up
saying.
real quick.
Drake dates teenagers. Everybody keep an eye on Millie Bobby Brown.
This is not.
Keep an eye on Millie Bobby.
That is not.
Keep an eye on
surviving-
our girl Millie.
That guy has issues. He got problems.
This is not surviving R. Kelly.
I mean, he made
okay?
a song about his problems.
This is not. We're not going to turn this podcast into a Drake smear campaign.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying he likes teenagers too much. That's all I'm saying. All right. That's all I'm saying.
In other news,
There goes our 100 Thieves sponsorship.
yeah, there goes. Yeah, exactly. CBS nabs Rick Fox autobiographical esports comedy. So
Everything about that sentence was a big fucking yikes. And, who the fuck wants this?
So,
Wait,
written by Dan Koppelman, it's an untitled comedy that centers on a recently retired pro basketball star who attempts to reconnect his estranged son by buying an esports franchise. It's inspired
I
by
hate
Fox's real life experiences
Wow.
of buying an esports company, popularly known as Echo Fox. And I'm really waiting for
Popularly?
season. Well, yeah,
No,
We
it's-
use that word?
yeah.
No, yeah.
Echo
If
Fox.
you pay attention to esports, which you don't,
I have no
You
idea.
should
what
know
that
what
then you
Echo
would
Fox
know
Yeah.
the name. Yeah.
That's a primary one.
3v1, Emma.
is. I'm just I don't know.
It's pretty bad. I think Rick Fox's involvement with Echo Fox, like, he's definitely, I think, kind of hands-on, but let's be real, he's not making like huge GM level decisions. I don't know how much time he's investing into the games himself. I'd wager to say it's probably pretty small. Probably one of my favorite tweets was from Thorin, of all people, who was like, he's like, "I'm just amused at when Echo Fox makes announcements, people like tweet at Rick Fox about like asking him questions. It's like when McDonald's makes a decision, you asking Ronald
my God.
McDonald
Oh
like,
my god,
why
that's
they
a
did
great
this.
analogy. That's funny.
It's kind of true. He's just kind of a,
Everybody knows if you want answers, you go to the Hamburglar. Ronald knows nothing.
exactly, David.
Wow, you brought
Thank
that
you.
way back. You brought that all the way back. That's funny.
I think you nailed it. I think it's just kind of cringe.
Yeah.
I don't know how well this is gonna go over, especially on like a sitcom television. Like, maybe if they said the people who brought you Silicon Valley on HBO are gonna bring you some esports comedy, like, and listed the same premise, I'd say there's a little bit of hope from it. But I don't know. Isn't CBS the same one that does Young Shelton or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it is.
Say Shelton with a T?
is that his name?
Sure.
Shelton.
Yeah.
Young Shelton?
No, it's
Shelton.
Sheldon with a D.
Like, yeah.
D.
That's how far removed I stay from this bullcrap. I hate it.
I got some game news.
You have some game news?
I have some game news.
Game news.
What do you got?
The new Avengers game was playable at New York Comic Con for the first time in the U.S.
Really?
And I got to play it.
And
So this is a two-part story. So I went to the.
I just want to know if the game's good.
Wow. We'll get there. Okay, we'll get there. Be patient. I haven't been here in forever. I gotta have my fill. So we went to the Marvel Games panel on Friday or whatever day it was, and we went because we were pretty sure they were going to talk about the Avengers game because that's like they have to. So we go in and I was like, they're going to talk about some bullshit we don't care about for like half an hour, and then they're going to kind of move into the Avengers game. So they talked for a while about like Contest of Champions, which is Realm of Champions. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't paying attention. They talked about Realm of Champions for a bit. There's some sick ass character designs if anybody's curious. And then they talked about the Iron Man VR game, which is a thing that's gonna happen apparently.
Okay.
Which I'm real excited about, and I'm real curious to see if I throw up playing that thing because oh my god, can you imagine?
Yeah, like
Okay.
flying.
So like 4-ish years ago, I went to Disneyland and they had a thing, like a whole Marvel thing, right? And you go in and it used the Xbox Kinect.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it
was
like
sick.
mapped you, and then
It
all of a
was
sudden
fucking
like
sick.
it like put an armor on you.
Yeah.
No
customized
way.
to you. And then it put you in like a training thing, and you you would actually like shoot
No
like
way.
drones.
That's also not
That's
VR,
sick.
but yeah.
No, but so it's like okay.
Imagine
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And if that was awesome, then I'm really excited for the VR.
So yeah, it'll be a PSVR game. They showed a little bit of gameplay and they talked about the story because I guess there is a story to it. That was something they didn't want it to be Iron Man Simulator and you just like fly around like Iron Man. So there actually is a story to it. The villain is Ghost, which will be very exciting. And it's basically like the kind of the Tony Stark story you would expect. It's Tony's sins coming back to bite him in the ass. He's trying to turn over a new leaf, and she's basically, I know what you did, and I know you're trying to change, but that doesn't mean you don't get to pay for what happened. So I'm going to kill you. So, cool story. The gameplay looks like it's going to be really interesting. I'm really curious to see how they deal with motion sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, did it seem like it was heavy in the action? Like, are you flying around as Iron? Ooh, yeah, that's going to be rough.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see how that goes.
Do not eat before playing this game.
Or eat a lot before playing and see what happens.
I want the review to be like, you just feel like you're Iron Man.
You just
feel like you're Iron Man.
Oh my god, you know what would make you vomit? VR Spider-Man.
Oh god.
yeah.
I didn't want to think about it.
You know what? I think you're right, because when I play Portal, and I
And you like fling yourself?
I sling myself, and I don't like catch it, and it just goes.
I can't.
I'm like, oh my god!
Now I want Portal in VR. I bet somebody's modded that.
I want a game where you just kind of stand still. You know what's a good hero for that? Like gargoyles.
Black Widow?
No, she does.
Hey!
That's messed up.
We'll
That was
talk about that.
unnecessary.
So they talked about the Iron Man VR game, which was a lot of fun, and then they finally started talking about the Avengers game. So the Avengers game comes out in March, February, something like that of next year. So they really haven't talked a whole lot about it, at least not in the States. I think they did some stuff at the Tokyo Game Show, and they've had it playable in other places. But the big announcement that came out of the panel, which I was pretty sure was the first time we were hearing it. We knew, we've known for a bit that Kamala Khan was going to be in the game. Like, she exists somewhere in this universe. Like, the character of Kamala Khan is somewhere. Like, oh, she's a little Easter egg. She's a huge part of the story, and she's playable.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So Ms. Marvel is a playable character. She seems to be the catalyst for a lot of the story.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't know any of that before. So they showed her for the first time. If you remember, we talked briefly about the story of the game when they kind of talked about it. It's there's a big event for the West Coast Avengers. It all goes to shit. San Francisco is leveled. The whole city is destroyed. The Avengers get framed for it. It's a whole thing. Game is and then it's one of those 5 years in the future. Da, da, da. So she as a child is at that event. And she's in love with the Avengers. She's obsessed with them. She's everything about them is who she wants to be. It looks like she gets her powers from that event. And as she grows up and as the Avengers have been disbanded and people with powers have been outlawed. No superpowers, no superheroes, and some automation security firm has taken over in their place.
Oh, it's like The Incredibles.
Yeah.
There you go.
So she, through some series of events, finds out that the Automation Security Council that took over for the Avengers actually was behind the whole thing, and she tries to contact them because she knows, she's like, well, I have these superpowers, and they'll kill me if they find out. And she still loves the Avengers, and she still is like believes in that, and like she's kind of got that youthful exuberance of like, you know, this could still work, we could still make this happen. She goes and finds Bruce Banner. It's a whole thing, and that's kind of how the game starts, and that's where it goes. Cool. So yeah, we got to see some gameplay of her combat looks fucking sick. It looks so much fun. I'm really excited.
So you actually got to play it. What part did you get to play? Because I've seen basically the whole first level.
Yeah, the demo is a cut and pasted or a cut down version of A-Day of the event that happens, and you play every single character except Kamala.
Ah, okay. So you're playing when you're running down the bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
So you play that whole bridge sequence. So you get to play as everybody. I believe you start out as, I can't remember who you start out as, but you run through everybody. You run through Cap, the Hulk.
I think you start
Iron
as Thor.
Man, Thor. Yeah, you do start as Thor, Black Widow. And it's so going into this.
You feel like Thor.
You feel like Thor. Thor is pretty fun.
Is it like the Lego games?
I've never played them, so I don't know.
So basically, they let you play as every character.
No,
but
this one you can't swap in, swap out. And
No,
you don't like. It's
Well,
on
no,
rails.
but they let you if we were to play a 2-player Lego sequence in Avengers, they would let us play like Iron Man and Thor, right?
Yeah.
But then the next scene is like a scene with Black Widow and someone else, so you can play them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very similar to that style.
That's what I was wondering.
It's kind of like it's on rails. It's kind of like more close to Tomb Raider, I would say, than like a dungeon
They talked a little
crawl.
bit about how that's going to work. So the
okay.
story is going to have like there's different missions you can pick from to play. I do believe there's an order to them, but some of them are kind of free play. And then there's optional missions that are online that you can play with up to 4 people, and that you can have like you and 3 of your friends can go in and play as the Avengers. So going into this, speaking of Tomb Raider, I was very skeptical because the dev team behind this is Eidos Montreal and Square Enix, and that team is the team that worked on the Shadow of the Tomb Raider game, which is, in my opinion, the worst Tomb Raider game.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh no, this is going to be like iffy. I'm very excited about this game now that I've played it.
Oh my
The
god.
combat is so
Oh, get out of
good.
town.
What is that? What does that even mean?
That's one of my old man terms.
No, I know what that, but like,
Get
why
out
is
of town.
it after I've played it, now my opinion changes and that's bad?
It's more based off of how crappy this game looks on paper and how
Yeah.
you've shunned Ultimate Alliance 3.
Oh, so it's personal.
Because Ultimate Alliance 3 looks like a mobile game,
So
and this
it-
looks like a real game.
David's correct. It's more of a personal
Yeah, no.
get out of town because that game is beautiful. It's all we
Game looks
needed.
like a
We
mobile
don't
game.
need these Walmart versions of these
Dang,
heroes
he called them Walmart.
on rails. Give me an open world. I wanted
man.
Spider-Man for PS4, but with the Avengers. That's what I wanted. That's what they hyped it up for when they said unannounced.
That's very true. I agree with you as a Marvel
that
fan.
would be
Like,
nice.
that's
It would be nice,
true.
but
I
I'm
agree.
still up for this game.
I thought it was going to be more Spider-Man.
I think that is a very hard game to make with 5 characters
Yeah, hell
and
yeah.
5 distinct characters that
That's
all have
true.
their own stories.
But we have the
So you
technology.
could do like one at a time. But if you want
We're
like a full
limited by the
Avengers game, I
technology
think
of
you
our
need
time.
something a little more on the rails.
No, David. This is 2019. We're not limited by any technology.
Did you see Spider-Man?
They could make this game if we, maybe we all make what's those things that everybody.
A pension?
There
or
we, a
something?
petition.
A petition.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god!
Let's start a petition, everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That always works. Okay, but sorry, I
Anyway.
really don't want to. What really
So-
sold you on this?
the combat is really, really fun. So speaking of like things like Spider-Man, it feels very much like Spider-Man. So it's very much like Spider-Man, very much like Arkham. The combat, like they know that it works and they're following that.
So
which
it's
is
a parry
great.
system.
It's there is some parrying to it, which was easy to pick up on because I already knew it going in. They don't tell you right away that that's a thing. It's one of those like it tells you like down the line. It's like, oh, do this. I'm like, I've been doing that for the last 10 minutes, but all right. So you get to play as everybody. Thor is a lot of fun. The way that you control where you throw the hammer and you control when you bring it back to you.
Wow.
So you can hit, so you can aim at somebody, throw the hammer, aim at somebody else and pull it back and hit both of them, and it hits somebody else on the way back.
Wow.
Whoa.
So that's a lot of
Now
fun.
that's
I really like how they did Thor. I'm also playing Thor, and I'm like, every single one of these guys is dead. I just killed all of them.
That's what we were saying when we watched the trailer. It's like, yeah,
No, they're all
Hulk
dead.
grabs 2 dudes and like smashes them head first
Oh yeah,
into
Hulk's
each other.
murdering everybody.
That's a homicide.
yeah, no, it absolutely is.
That's
Bum, bum.
oh my gosh,
Hulk's
you went
movement
there.
is a lot of fun because you're jumping over parts of the bridge that are broken. So like you can latch onto something and then bounce off of it and latch onto something else. And
That's really cool.
So it's a lot of
Okay.
fun. Like Hulk is kind of somebody that I wouldn't usually choose to play because it's just like the whole Hulk smash
You
thing.
have
But I'll actually play. him.
Rehyped me
Hulk
up for this
smash.
game.
It's gonna be a lot of
You
fun.
have
I
rehyped
knew
me.
going in that it would be, but Cap has my favorite combat. The way that you can use his shield is just so much fun. You can ricochet it off people. You can
That's
ricochet it off
cool.
walls. You can hit everybody with it. You can do like your ultimate with it. It's a lot of fun. Iron Man has the biggest learning curve. Like getting used to flying and shooting and controlling where you're going
Yeah.
all at the same time is gonna be like, I picked up on it, by the end of it, but it does have the steepest learning curve. And so the whole time I'm like looking at this game and I'm like, you have all these fucking demigods and superheroes. Why the fuck would you ever choose to be the chick in a cat suit who can't do anything? They buffed her so much. She's a fucking superhuman.
Wow,
Who?
Really?
Black Widow.
Black Widow?
The chick in the cat suit that can't do anything.
Catwoman.
I thought you were talking about Catwoman. Did you get to play the Taskmaster?
Yeah, so you
fight?
play that fight. She should have died the second that fight started. They fall off the bridge 80 feet and she just lands on top of him, and somehow, like, that's how physics works. She landed on top of him, so she's fine.
Comic books.
It's outrageous the amount of damage
Comic
she can
books.
deal, and like I understand they had to do it to put her next to the rest of them.
Yeah.
But like you really have to suspend your disbelief that like this is of all of them, she's just a person.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, this bitch is a superhuman and can't die.
Jeez.
So it actually ended up being pretty fun because she's the only one with guns, so that's fun. So they had to do a lot to put her on the same level as them, and it like took me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the whole sequence, I'm just like, she should be dead. That should kill that definitely should have killed her. It's very.
I think
it's
you were just
weird.
fantasizing, to be honest,
It's
because
weird.
we all know she's not your favorite character.
I mean, in the MCU, she's not my favorite character. In the comics, she's a little bit better. But like in the MCU, she's not my favorite character. And you get used to your Walmart versions. You get used to it very quickly. And it's a good cast: Troy Baker, Nolan North, Laura
Oh.
Bailey.
Oh, really?
That's it. The same
That's
three.
the same three.
Can
That's
somebody
it.
else
That's
get
the
some
tweet.
food in their mouths, please? Like we have the same actors for everything.
And then honestly, they're the only names that I remember.
That's all there is. And
There's
they just voiced
Roger Craig
Because
Smith
they-
is
they
the only
brought
one
the
you
whole
didn't mention.
the
He's
whole
probably
cast
in there.
out. Oh, Roger Craig Smith. They brought the whole cast out for the panel, so they were all there. The woman that plays Kamala Khan is very cute. She was very happy about her role.
That's
Yeah, they're all. It's gonna. I'm excited about that. I was gonna buy the game, but I was very iffy about it. Now I'm really excited to get it.
Now you've rehyped me.
Yay!
So I need
And
to
the
check
story,
it out
like
again.
the amount of story that we got to see from the panel, like it looks like it's gonna be good. And there's, oh my god, there's a quick side note. There is a bobblehead in Bruce's car of like the Hulk, and it just says "Love Tony" on it, and it's like a little present from Tony. It was so cute, and I think you get it in the collector's edition.
That's pretty
Wow.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
All right, that's it. That's my soapbox. I'm
cool.
excited
All
about it.
right. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Video Game Bang. If you guys noticed, we took a few weekends off. It's just because it's the busy time. Times are changing. The season's changing. Lives are changing. Emma's got a job now, growing up before our very eyes. Emma, are you still streaming? Do you have a stream schedule?
I'm trying. My work schedule is very, very, very up in the air. I work Saturday, so
So are they going to let you stream on the job?
not on my account, no. I got work to do. I'm working.
Yeah.
I have a job, so.
Tell everyone again, Fire Up Lounge.
Fire Up Esports Lounge in Roseville. Check us out if you're interested in what's going on. We have a Halloween party coming up on October 25th and 26th. If you guys would like to join us, there's Facebook events that you can check out. I will be streaming tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow being Thursday and Sunday.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh, cool. David Webb, what you been up to, man?
Working. Check out Vast GG. Same name on all platforms. We got lots of giveaways going on right now. Go check them out.
And Lexi, where can people find you on social media?
Lexi JPR on Twitter, and if you're on League of Legends, don't at me at once, but my name's Vicious Sky. If you want to play, I play ADC and support. So, but I love people who play support. So, trying to rank before season ends on November 12th.
I will definitely be sending a friend request your way. I'm dusting off the VG Bang account just for that. And for me, like I said, Berkeley this weekend on Saturday. I'll be out there with Nairo, Mega Ran doing the Get Schooled college tournament. Signups are already filled up for competitors, but if you just want to go and hang out, Mega Ran's going to be doing a full set before top 8. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. And then also just follow Energy Esports and the SF Shock. I'm interested because we just signed a new Fortnite player who lives in the Sacramento area. And he actually was he was the young kid who won the event at the state fair.
Oh.
So I'm thinking he's going to go and mop up at the Fire Up Lounge.
Nice.
But that's it. That's our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please, if you're in the Twitch chat, download the episodes on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, Audio Boom. Anywhere you could find podcasts, you could find the video game Bang. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, hang out with us live on Wednesday and Saturday nights. You could type in, chat with us, troll us, all those fun things. Use our emotes. Subscribe to our partnered Twitch channel that we're so proud of. But that's it. That's the show. No more. Done. For Lexi, for David, Emmaskies, my name is Cory saying, you've just been banged.